Hi, Professor T. It's me, Rhiannon. This is my week 13 submission. So, I only have one thing to talk about today, and that is Caitlin's presentation that we were given on Tuesday. So, she talked about death and bereavement and, grief and how people deal with it. And it showed me things that, I haven't really heard before with grief. She kind of explained that grief is different for each person, so how I deal with a traumatic event or death or something similar to that is completely different than how you would deal with it. It also grief was described as something that is ongoing. It's not like the event happens, then you're sad for a little bit, you're mad, you're angry, you talk to God, you go through your grief process, and then one day you're set in stone, fine, you're good. It was described as something that could go on continuously. It could go on for years, months, days, hours, who knows. It's just, like I said before, specific to the person, It was really, I don't want to say interesting because it makes me sound creepy, but it was cool to see that she, not her, but with help from her and through music therapy and counseling and things like that, that these kids, especially these really young kids, could turn the death of their father or the death of their sibling into something beautiful and meaningful, something that made them more powerful, over the grief that they had. I think she said something about a child had lost their sibling and they got a new sibling, and even though they didn't get to have that sibling for very long, it's still that sibling that had passed away prepared him to be an older brother to the next sibling that was going to be born, or doing things if your father passes away and you do things to make your father proud, even though he might not be there in person, he might not be tangible, but you can feel it, and you pushes you to be a better person and pushes you to do things that would make your dad proud, or things like that. I think that's cool to be able to take something as hurtful and painful as grief and to flip it into something that motivates you and makes you a better person and things like that. She didn't really go too much into her role as a music therapist. Obviously, you write songs when we get angry, we hold our breath and count 5, things like that. But I just think, more of the counseling side of it, how she explains that there's not necessarily a reason for these things, they just happen, and, yeah, it sucks, but I'm gonna be here with you, and I'm gonna help you, you're not alone in this, It sounded really cool, and it sounded like something that would be cool to do as a music therapist, or just to do in general as a person, to be able to help your friends, your family members, and things like that turn grief into something meaningful and powerful. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you for listening. See you Tuesday.